Hey, David Breslow back here with you with golf tips that actually work. Today I want to talk about those bad stretches of bad holes that you play. You ever played a round of golf, playing 18 holes, and then somewhere within the 18 holes, there's this stretch, maybe 3 holes, 4 holes, maybe even 5 holes, where things seem to fall apart. The train comes off the tracks. Almost every golfer I know has told me about that and has talked about that and has had that experience. So I'm going to assume that you probably have had that experience too. What's going on when that happens? A lot of golfers really struggle with this, trying to figure out, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? How do I get back on track? What do I do? Do I start changing clubs, swing slower, use drop down a club or two, or whatever it might be? There's all sorts of tips and strategies out there, but I'm going to give you something much simpler than that. All those things are fine, but these are golf tips that actually work, okay? Think about this. When the train goes off the tracks, let's say you're playing well for 10 holes. All of a sudden on the 11th tee, you spray your tee shot off to the left or off to the right or into the water or whatever. And then all of a sudden, what happens? There's only one thing that changes. Your thinking. When you're playing a good round of golf, let's say it's one of your best rounds of golf ever, and then all of a sudden you hit the 11th tee and things start to fall apart, and what I want you to recognize is that the only thing that really changed was a single thought. You can take back every situation and play it backwards and find the root cause in a single thought. That one thought that changed. Everything was going well up until that certain point. You were thinking well, you were feeling good, your body was performing well, your energy was good, and then all of a sudden you changed your thinking. Sometimes that could be something as simple as just thinking, wow, I'm playing really well today. I'm having a personal best round. This is great. I hope I can keep this up. Ever have any thoughts like that? A simple little thought like that can completely alter everything that you do. All of a sudden the tension appears, the stress appears, the bad decision making appears. Now, so many golfers don't think about that stuff. All they do is try to cope with the fires that start to happen because of that. But because I'm not interested in helping golfers be better copers with anything, because that's too late in my opinion, the fire's already started. Why do you want to get good at putting the fires out? Why don't you want to get good at preventing the fires from showing up? Wouldn't that be better? That's why these are golf tips that actually work. So I can tell you right now that anytime you start to have a bad string of holes, you can forget about the bad string. All of that bad string is a result of one moment where something changed. And that one thing that changed was your thoughts. Check it out. Check it out. If you're like most golfers, you're just not aware of it. Most of us are not aware of it. It happens so quickly, so automatically, we don't even realize a single thought started to change. But if you can think back on any situation where your train went off the track and you just had a bad string of holes, I'll bet you can play it back, just play it backwards, and ask yourself, what was I thinking? What was the thought that changed? Oh, okay. I started to think, I gotta have this shot. I gotta have this tee ball. I gotta have this tee shot on this par 3 get close. I need to have this happen. Things like that. Because you're looking at your score maybe and you're thinking, hey, I gotta get this close. These are the very subtle kinds of thoughts that golfers go through all the time. But they don't make the one-to-one connection to how powerfully impacting on your game that shift in thought is. That's because they don't understand the laws in place that are in place by thought, the thought law that's in place that actually impacts the way you think, the way you feel, what you physically do, and the energy that you have. That's how simple this really is. That's why these are golf tips that actually work, my friend. So, think back now. This is focusing on this when the train goes off the track, okay? There's no reason to have that string of holes anymore in a round, or those 3 or 4 holes where things go bad. There's no reason for it. You're the same golfer, aren't you? You have the same swing, the same talent, the same abilities. Why would you all of a sudden start playing poor golf for 3 or 4 or 5 holes in a row? There's no reason for it. What I'm telling you is, the only reason for it is you changed your thought at some point, and you can boil that back down to that one moment. I've done this zillions of times with golfers. They're shocked. No matter what story they tell me, I can bring it back to that one single moment where their thought shifted, and they're amazed. They look at me and go, "Dave, you kidding me? Just that? That one little shift in thought caused all of this other stuff to happen?" Yeah. And you've been running around the world out there trying to fix all that other stuff that happened. Running around, reading books, going to workshops, trying to find out how to deal with the stress and the poor decision making and all the other ramifications of that one moment. One moment. Get it? This is really important. This is really important. So what I want to tell you before I go, on the screen you're about to see a white little square with green writing in it. Hover over that, and I'm offering you 2 free sessions from the Wired to Win program. It's a 7-session program that is like nothing in the golf world, and it's going to give you these insights that I'm giving you here and a total understanding of how the mind, body, energy, and emotion relationship really works by law. No psychology, no philosophy, everything's provable, none of that conservative, traditional, old garbage. Psychobabble is really what I call it. That's what my clients call it. None of that stuff. So click on the screen below me here in this video. You're about to see a white square with green writing in it. Hover over that, click on it. It'll take you to a page to sign up for those 2 free sessions. It's law number 1 and law number 2. They're yours as my free gift for being here. So Dave Breslow, thanks a lot. Take care.